Here is the 2017 NCEA 2 Algebra exam, question 2e, and it looks quite fiendish actually, but in actual fact, there's multiple ways you could approach this to find a solution. It's in the logarithm section, which of course screams, please use logarithms to find me. However, we don't actually have to use the log button on our calculator at all to do this, and you can simply solve it using just basic indices and algebra. Well, let's go ahead and do just that, shall we? And then we'll have a go at doing it using logs. So first of all, I'm looking at this and I'm noticing there's a bit of a pattern here. There's something hidden in here. And this here is really a power of 3. In fact, 81 we could rewrite as 3 to the power of 4. And 243 is really 3 to the power of 5. And it's 3 to the power of 4 times this thing here, which is px minus 3, and the px bit itself is on q. And that is all equal to 3 to the power of 5. So this is all as a power, of course. So notice now I've got the powers, the bases are the same. So I could actually just cross out the bases and just solve for the powers. So I've got, and I'll rewrite this, I've got a 4 times, I've got a px minus 3, and again the px bit is on q, and that equals 5. Now, as the equation says, as the question says, we're solving for p, we want to find p. So I'm going to expand this out. Well, 4 times px is going to be 4px, still on q, and 4 times negative 3 is negative 12, and that is equal to 5. Notice how I didn't keep the equals under each other as I probably should have, so that was a bit of a mistake on my part. Nonetheless, though, I'm going to add 12 to both sides. There we are. Meaning that on this side I've got 5 and 12 is 17. And on this side here, I could probably just rewrite this as 4px. In fact, I'll just make it nice and simple. There it is. Keeping equals under each other this time, I'm going to multiply this side by q and multiply this side by q. And q, of course, divided by q is 1, leaving me with 4px is equal to 17q. Now at this point, I'm just going to divide by 4x, divide by 4x, dividing both sides by 4x. 4 divided by 4 is 1, x divided by x is 1, leaving me, of course, with a p. P is 17q on 4, sorry, you can't see that, on 4x. And there is my solution. Now, another way we could have handled that is to redo this, but this time use logarithms. Now, logarithms, and I don't really like using them as I have to, and I find that, generally speaking, students don't like logarithms. So, but we will do it using logs. Let's do that now. So I'm going to restate the problem down here. I'll section this part off here. So we've got, and I'll restate it, so we've got 81 to the power of px on q minus 3 is equal to 243. Now, if I find the logarithm of both sides, I'm just going to be restating this as log 81 to the power of px on q minus 3 is equal to log of 243. Now, the trick here, which is a very nice trick really, is the if you've got a logarithm with a number and the number has a power, has an index, you can simply take that index and it becomes the coefficient of the logarithm. So in other words, this thing in brackets, we're going to plonk straight in front of the log. So now it goes from here, becomes the coefficient. So now I'm going to rewrite this as px on q. It's no longer an index, it's no longer index. Log 81 is equal to the log of 243. So now I can just go ahead and divide this side by log of 81 and divide this side by log of 81. Log 81 divided by log 81, of course, is 1, leaving me with px on q minus 3 is equal to this thing here. Now, I'm wondering, maybe I should just see what that comes to. Hopefully it's nothing too scary. Let's have a look. So log 243 on log 81. Here it is. Let's have a go at doing that now. So we've got log 243 and we're going to go divide by the log of, what was it, log 81, wasn't it? So yeah, log 81, here we go. Log 81, and we get 1.25, there it is. So we get 1.25, or yeah, so we'll just leave it as 1.25. Now, I've run out of room at the bottom here, so I'm actually going to just do over this bit here. So I've got, I'll restate it, so I've got P x on Q minus 3 is equal to 1.25. Let's have a look at that now. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So I've got adding 3 to both sides. So now I've got Px on Q is equal to, that's going to be 4.25. And I want, what did I want the subject to be? I want to P the subject. So I'm going to multiply both sides by Q, multiply this by Q, multiply this by Q. And I'm going to divide both sides by X. So Px is equal to 4.25Q. And I'm going to divide this side by X, divide this side by X, leave me with P is equal to 4.25Q over X. Now, last time, of course, we got something very similar. We got 17 on 4Q over X. And I'm sure you can leave it like that. Let's just check, of course, that this is the same, 4.25, and it is 17 over 4 does equal 4.25. If you weren't sure, you can just go ahead and check it, but 17 on 4, and I'm pretty sure they'd be happy, which is 4.25, yeah. So I'm pretty sure that you could express it either way. I personally prefer it as an improper fraction as opposed to a decimal, but either or I think would be perfectly acceptable. The question, though, I have is, what would be most acceptable in terms of what they would want as an answer? And I'd leave that up to you. Check with your teacher and find out how your teacher would like you to do it. The reason, of course, I don't like the log one is it's slightly more involved, takes slightly longer. This one here doesn't involve logarithms. Still very straightforward, though. And yeah, again, check, find out which one, and follow those instructions.